All right, let's talk about masks. So when I created my high poly, let's high low poly one. When I created my high poly mesh, I added all of these materials, base material slots to our mesh, and what we're going to do is take advantage of that through masking. If you've ever worked in Photoshop, um, then you may, or I guess Photoshop, Illustrator, any number of image editing software, then you'll know that what masking is. But for those who are not aware, basic idea of masking is that it will hide or show either your white or your black, depending on your mask. So what you'll be able to do is if you create a mask, and I will create a fill layer, and then in this fill layer, I'll go to my base color and I'll just make a black. Um, and then I'll create another fill layer and I will make a mask. So right click your fill layer and we'll add a black mask. And what we can now do is, actually, let's start with, we'll click on our texture option there. There you go. So what we can do is if we wanted to paint on our black mask, if we do that, we can reveal the color behind it. Now, if we did this with a white mask, so if we remove our mask and then we added a white mask, because the mask masks out anything that is the opposite color of the mask. Now everything is red, and we can switch this to a black mask again. We can click invert mask and switch it back, and then start painting on it, and we'll reveal our red. Masking is going to be a lot of the detail work that you do in Substance Painter. You can do a lot of very targeted things with it, and it is very important to get started with dealing masks in the beginning. So I'm going to set up a black mask, and I'm going to hide this black layer. So this black fill layer is going to be one of those tricks to kind of help hide imperfections in your bake. And I'll get to that in a second. But basically what it's going to let us do is if I get rid of this, this mask, let me just remove it. That black layer is going to help create kind of some detail on these edges and stuff, which you might not be able to see here. Actually, I should probably finish doing the masking first. So we add a black mask, and then what we're going to do is we are going to show you what we can do with those different layer or different material layers that we made in Maya. As you can see, our texture set doesn't include any of them. That's because they were on the high res version of our mesh. So what they've been added to is in the bake, the color ID layer. So this layer, if we hide all of our other, I think it'll show it to us if we hide all of our other ones in the bake. Maybe it won't. Never mind. We will ignore that. I'll just show it to you. So if we want to affect things based on just that material ID, we can do that in the mask. So if I right click on the mask and we go to add color selection, so this is going to pull up the ID mask as the mask or as the layer that it is picking from. And now you can choose with this color picker, click on that. Now we see all of our different colors we started with. I can choose this red. And now the only thing that is the thing that is being masked, the only other or everything else that is being masked other than the red. So now I've only painted on the red. So if I wanted to duplicate this layer, go back into our color selector, we'll get rid of the red, and now we will pick our let's pick our seat. All right, our seat's red, but let's change it to like a brown. There we go. There you go. So now we have two different colors in our mesh and our materials just by selecting our different color layers. Now, I wanted to go into properties in a separate video, but I think that I'm going to be using them a lot going forward, so I'll explain them now. Um, you have in any material set and fill layers and whatnot, you have options for five material properties: your color, height, roughness, metallic, and normal. You can manipulate and turn these different parts off to affect the way that a material looks. So this base color brown, it has a low roughness and no metallic. So it's kind of got this glossy finish. But if I were to increase the roughness, now it's a bit more matte and a bit more flat, which is good if I wanted to create more of a leathery look. Also, if you're using any of the, and I have a specific thing set up there, let me go into our materials. If you wanted to use one of the material assets in Substance Painter, they have their own parameters for all of this, but you can affect these individually here. So your base color is your color. The height is the height from the base surface of your material. So if you increase the height and you paint on it, it'll paint above the surface of the material. And if you decrease it, you'll actually carve into the material. I'll show that in another section in the next video after that, because it's very important for doing some really cool detail work. Your roughness is used for, again, for creating roughness in your texture. The less roughness you have, the more glossy it'll be. The more roughness you have, the more matte it will be. Don't set roughness to 0. It makes it mirror, unless you want to make it mirror, which I'll show you that one too, because I have mirrors in this. Your metallic will add whether or not your thing looks more metal or more flat. And then the normal, which is not something that you'll really, you just need to decide whether or not it's going to be affecting. Your normal is part of that detail map that you baked into the materials. So let's say we're happy with that, and I'm just going to go through and we're going to add by duplicating layers. Oh, nope, I don't want to duplicate. I want to duplicate the whole layer. Going in and changing our color picker to, let's do the tires, and the tires, we're going to make those, we're going to make those black. And then we are going to add a bit more roughness to them, a little bit of metallic. And then we're going to duplicate that again. And I'll come back when I have finished doing this, and we'll probably do a time-lapse thing. Or maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just keep going. So pick a color, and let's pick the trim. For the trim, I want to go here. Let's do a really metallic-y gold color. So let's start with that, and we'll reduce the roughness, and we'll increase the metallic a lot. There we go. And duplicate it again. And the rims, I want to keep it kind of metallic, but I want to make it like that. I'll duplicate that again. Go into our color selector, and we'll pick this, which can have a similar metallic. Yeah, why not? That looks fine. Duplicate the layer again. Go into here. Let's grab that. All right. And we'll do it. I keep duplicating the color selector. I want to duplicate the whole layer, not just the color selector. And we'll select this. For the handlebars, let's go with Actually, you know what we can do? The handlebars, I will go back down to this layer, go to this color selector, and if I pick another color while I've already picked a color, it will add that. I gotta hide this because I did edit it. It will add that to the different colors that will be affected by this fill layer. So now we have that's red. I don't know if I love that, but we can leave it as is for now. That's totally fine. Now over here at this one, we're gonna go back and change our color selector to the handlebars, and those handlebars we're going to make like a dark gray, no metallic, and very matte. All right, and we got these lights to do, so color selector, pick these lights. This one I'm going to do go to our base color. These are like reflectors. So we're going to grab like a dark red, like that. Going to increase the metallic and decrease the roughness a little bit. There we go. And I think I have the engine left. Yeah. Oh, and the mirrors in the headlight. Yeah. All right. So duplicate that again. Go down here. Pick the engine. Actually, now that I think about it, what we're going to do is I didn't want to do that. I'm going to delete that. Go over here, and we are going to go to our color selector, and we are also, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. We're going to also pick that. So there we go. Now our engine and other things are also chrome. That looking good, looking good. And I think that gives us, duplicate that, grab another color selector, and we will select this, and we'll turn this. This is our headlight, so we are going to turn our headlight kind of, I guess, an amber-ish color. Something like that, maybe. And we'll make it not very rough. Okay. And there you go. So that was a very quick and dirty way to get some good solid color variation on our materials by only affecting and painting on one specific part of the mesh. You can also, if you want to, actually, let me do the mirrors because I still had to do that. All right, we'll select this, get rid of that, select this color. If I wanted to do a mirror, can reduce them right there. And now we have a reflective mirror. If I wanted to replace any of these things with, say, part of our material assets over here, so like if I wanted to replace, do I have like a leather? Yeah, leather. If I wanted to replace the brown on the seat with a leather, I can just drag it over to here. Actually, hold on. Let me just make sure that this is right. Yeah, there we go. Drag this over here. Or it'll be very slow. There we go. And now it's applied that layer, that material. And then I can go over here and affect the different parameters to get the correct look that I'm going for in that material. All right, so Set that up a little bit darker, kind of like that. You can mess with, again, it's like, I don't know what it looks like if I completely remove the roughness from this. I don't like it. Let's put it back up. Ooh, dark shiny leather. You can mess with all the different materials in many different ways if you want to. Let's go with that, but I'm going to actually darken the leather. Hello. Hello. Things are slowing down. I make sure I don't lose my progress, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this. There we go. And if we wanted to, we can go through and do that to all the different material parts. So I don't know if I have a reflective. Check my assets, see if I have any. Any cool things for like the lights and stuff. I don't think we use reflectors very often, but I could be wrong. Well, anyway, not to harp on that. So let's move on. And now, if we wanted to, so that's the basics with masks. Again, you can manipulate a lot of different things using masks. This is a very basic form of it, but if I wanted to say, give this, let's give it a bit of a, let's delete the color selector, and we're going to add a generator. So say we want to give this some light, right? If I go to the fill layer here, and if we remove, I believe we remove color, and then we go to our mask, we can add a generator like I just did. And then if we select our generator, we get a bunch of different generators we can use. Let's select light. I guess also it's important because I don't want to be using this leather look. But now, so what we've been able to do is mask off kind of a light effect that we can manipulate inside of substance. So let's say I take, we want this to go straight like that. So now what it's done is it's giving us kind of a upward facing light. Maybe if I drop it from the top down, now it's giving us kind of a top down facing light, and we can affect this a bunch of different ways. So if I went into our material here and changed our color to a light orange, now we get a bit of a warm glow light. Then I can change our entire layer mode. Again, if you've worked in Photoshop, you'll know how these blending modes work. But if you were to change it to a, let's go linear dodge, then now it's going to more correctly affect different colors by the different type. And we can also reduce its opacity so we get a less intense light. Something like that, maybe. And then if we go back into our light generator, we could change our attenuation, which I don't think with something this low it's going to affect it very much. But we can change our attenuation to affect light fall off over distance. Change our glossiness with this slider, so we can get a bit of a glossier look on our light if we want to. We can change the level at which the highlights are shown versus the shadows. And that's another thing that you can do with masks. One of my favorite things, I guess, to do is to combine a couple different. So if we duplicate this layer, if we combine a couple different, let's make this one an overlay. Go to our light, or actually go to our base color, and let's give it a darker, like a purple. Yeah, there we go. And then from here, let's go down into our, just to make this easier to see right now, we're going to up our opacity, go into our light, and let's give it some light from, let's go there. And you can get this kind of like shadowy additional color effect as well. Reduce the glossiness a little bit, increase the highlight a little bit. So you can get like multiple levels of light affecting the object in one at once in the material itself, and not using lighting inside of your renderer. But yeah, that's there are a lot of other things you can do with masks in addition to generators and things you can add different. You can mask and then paint on top of the mask, specifically in spots. Anchor points, which I'll get to in the last video. Well, actually, we'll do it in the next video, but we'll get to it to show you how that works. Anchor points will allow you to affect masks in specific locations and using specific parameters. So we'll get into that next. So I'll see you guys in the next video.